Also had a great time with this Mos Def moment. Mos Def and Drake. Do we have that audio ready, Shawnee Culture?
We do.
Rosenberg. Now, Rosenberg. I was surprised at you, Rosenberg. Surprised.
Really? Why is that?
Well, we'll tell the people in a second.
Okay.
Play the audio, Shawnee. Part 1.
Like, is Drake hip hop?
Why are you doing this to me?
Drake is pop to me, in the sense like if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping.
Commercial music.
Shopping with an edge in certain instances. It's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
It's likable. So many products.
So that's part 1, and the reason I say it's part 1 is because that's what most people was throwing around, and there's more to what he was saying there, which that's from the Cutting Room. Is it the Cutting Room podcast?
Cutting Room Floor.
Cutting Room Floor podcast. So I want to make sure they get their credit. And then Mos goes on to say this.
What happens when this thing collapses? What happens when the columns start buckling? Are we not in some early stage of that at this present hour? Are we seeing like the collapse of the empire? Buying and selling, where's the message that I can use? What's in it for your audience apart from like banging the pom-poms?
And I think Mos has a very valid point. There's a big discussion I've been hearing in the music industry and the entertainment industry about the demise of the demand for hip-hop, and also the demise of not just the consumption and demand, but also just the quality of the product that is coming out. But I didn't have a problem with what Mos Def said. Did you, Laura?
No, I mean, it didn't surprise me. You know, coming from someone like Mos, who's like a purist, it didn't surprise me.
But Rosenberg, your take was even more interesting. You found yourself feeling bad for Drake.
I did. I did feel bad for Drake. Listen, I love that Mos is going to be Mos. And, you know, I love when people fight for hip-hop in the purest sense, right? Especially when it's someone other than me. Because, to be honest, nobody seems to want it to be me. So Mos is much more valid to be having these conversations. But I felt a little bad. Like, Drake has gotten into it with a lot of people. And I'm sure at the end of the day, Drake has fun arguing with Joe Budden. But do I think Drake is really upset? I know everyone likes to believe that he's very upset by what Joe Budden says. I think he gets very motivated by what Joe Budden says and likes to battle with him and like talk trash. But I think ultimately Drake doesn't care that much because, you know, all due respect to Joe, but at this point Joe's a podcaster. Like that's
right.
Really what Joe is. And he's an opinion guy. So I don't think Drake really cares. But when Drake woke up on Saturday or whatever day that was and saw that out of the clear blue, one of the most loved and respected hip-hop pure icons of all time was kind of laughing on camera about how his music is mall music, I just said I felt bad. Like, it certainly wouldn't make you feel good. That's all. That's all.
I feel like Drake has set out to be what he is, which is Drake is hip hop for sure, but he's also on purpose tried to be pop, and he definitely has tried to have many skews. You know what I'm saying? He wanted R&B songs. He wanted, songs that sound like they from the UK. He wants songs that's house songs. He wanted songs that, you know what I mean? He wanted all those skews.
I agree with you, but I still don't fundamentally, listen, it may be most of you talk to him longer would give you more details, but she asked the question, is Drake hip hop? And his response was, Drake is pop. I don't agree with that assessment. Like we just had this whole conversation,
but
fighting with people about the difference between pop and other things. Drake isn't pop.
Yeah.
Drake's not Pitbull. Drake's not Flow Rider. Drake's not, but
he's not Starships.
He's not. He hasn't done it.
He's not Backstreet Boys.
He's not Backstreet Boys. He hasn't done none of that.
He makes popular, very popular music, but I think all of it is either rap, R&B, Caribbean, dance hallish vibes, Afrobeat. All of it is something else. It's not straight pop music.
But the crazy part is that Drake makes a lot of rap records. People just don't know him. People just know the pop Drake record, so that he gets put in that box of being an all-around pop artist.
Right, but I'm going to go back to what I just said, though. He wants to be on in Target. He wants to have a lot of SKUs. He wants to be accessible. He wants to be popular as Michael Jackson on the charts. He said it multiple times.
But it's still hip hop.
I think that makes him
But it's
not-
still
not
hip hop.
Exactly.
But it's also pop. Yes, it's both.
It's popular. It's popular hip hop. But the question was, we keep changing the question. She said, "Is it hip hop?" Mos laughed and said, "It's pop." Right. I'm not mad at Mos for having that opinion. As Laura said, it's the opinion Mos is supposed to have. I'm just saying, I personally, purist that I am as well, I disagree. I think he makes super popular hip hop. You may not like the content. You could have a separate conversation of, I don't think Drake says anything important, something Ebro has said many times, and Drake hates him for it. But you could have that conversation. But I don't think that answer itself was true. Is it hip hop? It's pop.
Well, and furthermore,
hip-hop.
why are you bringing up me and Drake in this moment? Okay, I'm trying to. You see what I'm trying to do here?
Push it along.
I'm trying to use
Why
this
didn't you give me
moment
the-
to
why didn't you give me
ingratiate
the-
myself, back to the OVO camp.
Damn it, I missed
Why
the
you
win.
picking our boy, man?
And you bringing up old ish.
Sorry, that's my bad. No,
But-
Ebro's he's doing the right thing here. He's doing the right thing.
We gotta stop doing this, man. We gotta stop
Do we?
belittling.
Nah.
Yeah, doing as in general. What I'm saying
See,
is,
no, belittling who, though?
Let me
Finish.
get it out. Let me
finish,
just say
finish.
what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
We gotta stop belittling or throwing away our people when they start to get success.
There you go.
This crabs in a barrel thing is whack.
It's not even crabs in a barrel. It's crabs.
Yeah.
It's crabs. It's the crabs throwing other crabs out the barrel.
Yeah, like, what's going on? Like, this just makes it.
But
But
let me-
by the way, that is first of all, the first rap record was a pop record.
Facts.
The first chart topping radio record was a pop record. Right. Curtis Blow made mainstream pop records, man. Like this is not, it's not unheard of. There's always been an underground element to hip hop, and there's always and I appreciate, once again, reiterate, I appreciate that we do this. It's part of the checks and balances system of a culture that's been successful for a long time. For us to have purists in the game amongst us that are like, oh, hell nah.
Yeah.
Right.
You need
You know what I'm
that.
saying? I like
I agree.
that for us.
No, that's all I was going to say. I was going to say we don't need to stop doing this. In fact, you could argue we need more people to be doing this. It's gotten kind of quiet. There used to be a time where when you went to pop, everyone was coming for you. Everyone was calling. Think about how Hammer caught it. Hammer caught it. And now you could look back and go, was Hammer even deserving of it? I don't know, but he caught it every day.
Caught it crazy.
Yeah,
KRS threw
though.
PM Dawn off the stage. Probably
outta
really
here.
not nice and unnecessary.
And PM Dawn didn't want no smoke.
that-
PM Dawn just wanted to make
That's-
his love songs.
That's understandable, though.
How is that
don't do
understandable?
PM Dawn made great radio pop records, man.
Dang.
Shout
No,
to
and by
Jersey
the way,
City.
PM Dawn never tried to also act like a cool rapper. So they
Wasn't
really
that like
didn't
beef?
deserve it when you think about it.
but
But
it was like-
the
wasn't that
point
like
is,
a
it's
beef
always
thing?
been there.
It wasn't
That
a
element of the purist getting up there and saying, nah. That was, Ebro, that was what blew my mind last week when we were talking about the Kanye Backstreet Boys thing. I was like, yo, this sucks. You shouldn't sample Backstreet Boys. I thought other people would be like, yo, he's right. And instead everyone's like, nah, it's cool. Use
It's
anything.
Kanye.
It doesn't matter.
No, but that was the Kanye
it's
stance,
right.
though. That's the Kanye stance for sure.
Yeah.
And Kanye still has that equity with people. We'll take your calls, 800-223-9797. I do,
This is
Man.
not good.
What?
what, when we take the calls?
Yeah, it's not going to be good. The
No,
problem
it is. I think people get it, man. I think people get that there's radio rap, man. There's always been radio rap. There's always been mainstream hip hop rap
Right.
that goes to the mainstream, that goes pop. And a lot of artists have done it. It's not, it's not like a crazy phenomenon. The Drake thing is just, the success is far beyond anything we've ever seen in hip hop, and the run is so long. And when Mos Def is asked, Yasiin Bey is asked about Drake, his response, I think, is fine. Like, he does have a lot of skews. Drake got a lot of skews.
And he know it's a setup question if you ask him Mos Def.
Well, that's what Mos was like.
doing
Why are
this
you
to me?"
asking?
Yeah,
me?
because he can't say.
Why are you doing
he
this
can't
to
go
me?
Yeah, he can't go the other way. He has to
Yeah.
go the way he went.
He
Most
has to.
Def have to go that
Let's
way.
go to Jim on the line. Jim wants to chime in on the Ebro show with Laura Stylez and Rosenberg. Jim, what's going on? We're talking Drake and Mos Def saying Drake is pop. Drake is edgy shopping music.
Commercial.
Peace. Well, I know this is a place where we can have a productive conversation about it, so I'm glad to be on.
Thank you.
It's good to see Mos out and about, first of all, because he doesn't really do interviews, so here we are. But every hour on the hour, we got to be honest, Drake is on here saying, I'm one away from Michael.
That's
every
right.
hour on the hour on the radio, so I think that's his goal to be pop. On the the other side of that, to be honest, and it was said before, rap music has been pop for a long time at this particular point, pushing products and everything like that. But to have a broader conversation briefly, hip hop, as opposed to just the rap music portion of it, is supposed to be disruptive. And I think that's where Mos was going, that Drake, there's nothing disruptive about Drake. There's nothing that's shaking up culture and challenging the system or anything like that. I think that was the direction that Mos was going in. Drake is an amazing artist, but there is nothing disruptive about it. There's no war theme music to Drake.
I will say
But
this.
that's a
though.
much better explanation. That's a detailed and nuanced explanation.
And I appreciate that, Jim. I will
Thanks,
add
man.
in though, you could critique it on that from the hip hop angle, but I mean critique it from this with Drake, and I don't know if people give him credit for this, but the way he's brought music from all around the world into a central place and exposed people to sounds that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to, whether that's Caribbean sounds or Afrobeat sounds or UK artists and this whole thing. I don't think Drake gets credit for that. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely something to the fact that Drake has helped people get exposed to music and artists that maybe they weren't paying attention to, because he is tapped into what in the culture, into black music culture in that way. You know what I'm saying? And I think Drake needs to be saluted for that. Let's go to Lexi on the line. Lexi, what do you want to say about Yasiin Bey talking about Mos Def? Talking about Drake.
First of all, what's up? I freaking love you guys. Every
you
morning
too.
I listen to you.
Thank you
Lexi.
so much for the
Second of all,
support.
Thank you.
Of course. I just wanted to say that we forget it's an art form, and critiques are necessary in an art form.
I love that.
And the checks and balances have been happening. That's part of hip hop. I'm a street artist, so it's part of graffiti. It's part of hip hop. It's part of the culture. Is someone coming for you and you defending yourself, and that's what makes it art.
Yo, man, salute this
So, like,
lady right here, Lexi.
You know
Man,
what
we
time
love
it
you,
is.
There
Lexi.
you
You
go,
on time
Lexi.
right
Oh
now.
my God, I love you guys. I love
Now,
you
Lexi-
guys. I'd love to do a mural of you.
Listen, as long as it's approved, we don't want no fines and tickets and all that.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Lexi.
Lexi.
It's a really good point. And I think that people listen. Drake is great. The problem is Drake takes up so much air, and there aren't a lot of people close to his level to give Mos and people like us who love that vibe that energy.
Well,
You got to wait every 5 years for Kendrick. You got to wait for J. Cole. There's just not a lot of balance. So as a result, we're kind of like,
Yeah, but
whereas there's room for Drake, but we just need other stuff.
But Drake's these last 6 records Drake put out on this deluxe, that Scary Hours Deluxe, is some of the best Drake I heard in a
For the
minute.
dogs.
For all the dogs, yeah, the Scary Hours, whatever it is.
We love the Scary. I love it. I listen to it more than any Drake I've listened to in a long time.
Yo, the world's trying to come for Drake. Drake responded nicely, man.
He did I love the Scary Hours version, but even for someone like Mos, to the caller's point earlier, it's still not, quote, disruptive. It's not saying like, yo, let's talk about this election that's coming up.
Yeah, but that's
let's talk
never
about
been
this
Drake,
war
though.
that's coming
but
up.
why? But that's not
down.
even what Drake is, and that's also why Drake is so popular, because he isn't disruptive.
Right.
Agreed.
He's palatable
Keep
for
in mind.
everybody.
Keep in mind the individuals that you want to be disrupted don't see the highest heights like that. You know what I'm saying? Because
Facts.
they're not accessible to a large portion. Why you think everybody just wants athletes to play ball and us to not talk about politics? It's because a lot of times people don't even want that in their entertainment. Rosenberg gets on the Michael K show. They don't talk about politics. They just talk about the sports because people don't want that.
Yeah, well, that's probably what we should do. But yeah, no, I hear you. But I think that's what Mos is missing. I think that's what Mos is like. Where is that? Where are the disruptors? Why I don't want this just mall music.
Well, he
know what I
said,
mean?
I think that Drake
where do we
Drake
go?
has amazing content in his music. It's just very specific, though. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he doesn't jump into politics and his stuff is mostly on relationships.
But
And
damn
you
it,
know, when he's
he'll
coming
give you
after
that
other people.
He'll give you that IG comment rap all day, baby.
quick.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's of the
IG is
time.
popping.
Drake might be a guru, yo.
Well,
Get
and Drake,
out
by
of
the way,
here.
Drake responded. Drake has fired back, as they say.
Yeah, he did.
On his IG story, he posted a clip of Mos Def of Method Man, and in the clip of Method Man, Meth says, "Hip hop is a culture. It's a way of life. It's the way you dress. It's the way you talk. It's the way you walk. It's the breakdancing, rhymes, stage shows, DJ, mixing, scratching, wordplay. That's hip hop." Drake posted that video, and under it left the caption, "What Umi say again? Let me shine my light, king. Don't change up now." Laughing emoji. Which, by the way, that's a great response. Kudos to Drake.
What did
that?
Umi
That's
say?
yeah, because he kept it nice. He made it clear what he was saying, but he didn't try to disrespect a god. He just kind of was like,
Well, and
Yeah,
what he's
bro.
saying is, what did we say? Shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. And Drake is like, yo, man, I'm trying to shine my light. And I think that's also part of Drake's frustration is he always feels like, man, I'm trying to be me in a game that told me if I was me and I was authentic and my craftsmanship of rhymes was true and honest to myself, that I would be loved. And Drake has continued to be a true and honest person to himself. He's been himself the whole time, and people are mad at him being himself. He brings up music and rhymes over music that is phenomenal music, and that is really capturing a snapshot of black music around the world. And he brings that into his music, tells his story, and still gets hate. And ain't out here making Flow Rider records and Pitbull records and these
That's what I'm
super
saying.
uber pop, unnecessarily pop records. He's not doing that. The pop world came to him.
Yeah, we can't
That-
act
that
like
was
he have
ultimate-
good content in his raps. Like, come on.
well, no, but it's not good content for someone who loves Mos. Like if you're like, yo, I listen to Black on Both Sides every day. That album is my anthem. Drake's probably not the artist for you lyrically. That's okay. That is
And that's okay. Yeah.
But that's why I didn't agree with Mos's assessment that it's not hip hop. Come on, man. If we get into that conversation, there's a lot of good artists that we're going to take out of the hip hop category because they never talked about anything important. We could go chapter and verse right now of artists we love, and they weren't talking about things that were, quote, important. Yo, I listened to
disruptive.
I was listening to Hell on Earth this weekend. Yo, it's literally, it's one of my favorite rap albums. It's having Prodigy murdering people for 13 songs. They're not exactly changing the world, okay? It's just really good artistically.